We gotta get over there. We're supposed to stay.
Daniel, I feel so proud. They threw me off the UN grounds for saying imperial powers out of Africa.
Yeah,
France
he was like,
followed by Russia, followed by China. Get out, get out.
So we're on that side right now, or?
No, they threw me out. I'm proud.
If you stay over that way and the crowd, we're still gonna rally over there.
I'm proud.
Yeah.
the people in the UN that are not listening to us. I'm not about fighting right now, I'm about peace. Because especially today, SDG 16 is what we're promoting today, you know. It's the 16th of September, but we're tired of talking and singing the same tune all the damn time. We're tired, we want you guys to hear us. We care for our planet, and it's high time you guys better come up with policies that make sense and listen to what we have to say as young people, because we're the future of this world. Y'all don't care there because you're done with your future. We are heading to our future. So that's what it is. It's that, y'all.
What do we want now? What do we want? What do we want? What do we want now? What do we want now? What do we want now? What do we want? What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want? When do we want it? Now. What do we want?
Thank you all so much. Now we're going to have Neil. He has something wonderful to share with us. Let's give it up for Neil.
Sit up. So sorry to all the being come on a little bit closer. We're all family here.
Can we come together? Let's move forward.
Come on. Come on. We got 7 more years.
Okay, I'm very tall and I have a tall voice as well. I grew up in a refugee camp in KZN. Homa is a big refugee camp with about 250,000 refugees. I come from countries affected by conflict across sub-Saharan Africa. From DRC, from Somalia, from South Sudan, where I'm originally from. And in the refugee camp when I was 16, 17, I started a youth-led group that does a lot of work on empowerment, on peace building, on climate change and gender equality. And I think when I look at the state of the world today, 3 years ago, I made my own promotion that I'm going to play worldliness again, because they are failing when they're supposed to be. I think it's young people who are looking at climate justice. We don't think of worldliness, right? When the climate justice movement comes to your mind, you think of young people like Vanessa Akate, or Greta Thunberg, when you think of the education crisis, it is young people like Malala that, their name will bring on your head. So I think as young people, we really need to take a lot of responsibility when it comes to leading this movement. But also we need to take a lot of responsibility when it comes to bringing other voices here. Someone mentioned today when we were at the UN that there are so many voices missing in the room, and that is so true, right? The spaces we are in are not reflective of the communities we come from, the intersectional identities of young people from all across the world. So we do our best to bring those voices here, and we will try to make sure that they are part of the conversation we are having, try to ensure we empower their perspective, their ideas. Young people can never be an homogeneous group, as we all know. We do not just need young people at the table, but we need young people in all these diversities at the table. We need young migrants, we need young refugees, we need, LGBTQ youth, we need young indigenous youth, we need young people from the global south, from the global north. Everyone has a role to play. Young people with disability, young women and girls, and we bring all those voices. I think we really need to put intersectionality at the forefront of everything we do, and that is how we ensure we do not leave anyone behind. When we look at the climate justice movement, I always remind people when it comes to climate change that for refugees, communities, and displaced communities, climate change is not only displacing people, but it is making life unlivable for those already displaced. So as we look into the next few days, let's go into those rooms with one key thing: holding leaders accountable. There's a lot of talking. They'll come and tell us next week that these issues are urgent, but they go back in the offices the week after next week and do nothing. These issues have been very urgent for a very long time. My friend once told me, right? We know climate change has been urgent since COP1. We're going to COP28 in December. The same thing, it's urgent. It's urgent. I think urgent means different to our leaders and us, right? So please, let's go and tell them that these things are urgent. Let's go there. We're representing a very big, youth group. There are over 1 billion young people. So let's go there, seek accountability. Ask people that the time for talk is over. We need action, and let's stand in solidarity with one another. Let's bring all our voices together. As young people, this is about us. We are the losers, right? If we don't act today, tomorrow we're inheriting all the problem our world is facing. So let's take this with full responsibility. Let's bring the voices of all other young people that are not here into the rooms you're going into. And, accountability first, solidarity, and compassion all the way up. Thank you very much.
Who are we? Civil society. 2023. Are we there yet? Never not know. Amanda. Amanda. Who are we? Civil society. Where are we? 2023. Are we there yet? Never not know. Amanda. Guys, say it with conviction. When you're talking about Amanda, we're talking about power. Yeah. Okay? So when you say we have power, you're not going to say I have power. You're going to say I have power. Okay? So let's say it again. Who are we? Civil society. Where are we? 2023. Are we there yet? Never not know. Amanda. Thank you so much.
Now our next is
Okay, so I'm super excited to have you here. It's a privilege to meet all of you. And of course, as we all know, this is how we do Agenda 2030. We're here, giving out our voices to our global leaders to take intensive actions. Because over the past years, we've been hearing them, this is what we want to achieve. And we barely have like 7 years to go for the 17 goals. So we want actions to be taken. That's why you see us here making our voice heard as young people. Amanta! Amanta! What do we want? We want a bright future! What do we want? Bright future! When do we want it? Now! What do we want? A bright future! When do we want it? Now! This is how we want to. Amanda! Thank you all so much. This is how we want to welcome you to the stage. Thank you. Thank you. Put your hands together for that, please.
And I want to say that
right now, 17th is in connection. This is also the carnival and art and music and dance, which we are all the.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yes, here we are. All right. So welcome. We are with Create 2030. We are a network of professional artists who support the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. I want to start off with a quote that I think is very relevant, and that is, the role of the artist is to make the revolution irresistible.
Yes.
Given what is going on in our planet, we are in need of a creative revolution.
Oh, definitely.
Because what has been happening is not working. Okay? We are here to demand representation for artists, because as much as the UN is starting to love arts and culture, we have no representation. We are put on stages to perform, we are put on stages to dance and tap our feet, to show films, to spit poems, but we have no representation. So we are here to advocate to become a major group by the time we have the Summit of the Future next year, so we can have a legitimate voice in this space. Let me give you some examples of why we need representation. During COVID, the UN put out a lot of arts contests and creative briefs, asking artists to work for free. They then took that free art and gave it pro bono to mega corporations like Facebook and BBC. Everybody knows one of the hardest hit sectors from COVID was the creative community. We were being told we were going to be the first to be hit and the last to recover. And the reason why there were all these harmful policies is not because people have bad intentions or they want to hurt artists. It's that they don't understand our livelihoods. They don't understand how we make money. They don't understand how we survive. Now, those same policies would not have happened had we had representation, because we would have caught that before that campaign went live. We would have said you cannot ask artists to work for free in the middle of a pandemic that is harming artists, okay? Another situation is they are creating policies around arts and culture, and there are no artists in the room. There are no artists in the room. So right now they're supposed to introduce a new UN resolution on culture as a standalone goal for 2030, post 2030. There's no artist having input in that policy. The last thing I want to bring up, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call this out because it is unbelievable, is that there's a new institution for art that's affiliated with the UN called the Museum for the United Nations. They just appointed a woman as their new CEO who has no experience in arts and culture and who has a reputation of creating a racist organization. These things are unbelievable, and we need to change them. And the only way we're going to change them is if artists are here and have a voice, a collective voice. So we need you guys as allies to help, as a contracted filmmaker, as a contracted curator. I brought thousands of artists into the UN space. But now that everybody's so excited about arts and culture, we need representation. We need a working group. We need an artist delegation program. We need pre-conferences. We need a lot of what the youth have been able to accomplish because they overcame the tokenism, all the challenges that artists face, unpaid labor, lack of attention to intellectual property rights. There's so many issues that artists are dealing with in this space, and it needs to change. So we need your help. We marched. I'm going to let other people speak here, but we marched here because we need civil society's help. We need your guys' help to help us build legitimacy. And I'm going to call on Ali and I'm going to call on Ingo to help us create a formal major group, a formal MGOS, because we need it and we deserve it. So that's all I'm going to say. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. Incredible hip-hop artist on the rise, just was with Sway Universe and RZA, I'm sorry, on The Saga Continues. She was chosen one of 12 out of 10,000 rappers. So give it up, because she wrote a new song.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah!
So my name is Nejma Nefertiti, and I've been working on this piece called We the Artists. It's a piece that's been evolving even since this morning, so I'm gonna do something I don't usually do, and I'm gonna read from my phone. I'm so against that, but at least for myself, but it goes a little something like this. We, the artists, gather to address representation. We deserve to contribute to decisions and policy making. We're the future of humanity, yet often exploited. We are art and culture, bringing light to what's avoided. Our intellectual property is constantly violated, tokenized in our creative economy and isolated.
Tell them.
To all the art organizations, we demand clarity, accountability, transparency, and solidarity.
Yeah, that's right.
Woo! We should drive the train. The possibilities no limit. Bringing unwavering dedication and consciousness because we live it. And speak for the oppressed. Nobody left without a plate. Enlightening and bring awareness through all that we create.
Yes.
We have tools, techniques, and expansive reach.
Everything.
And should lead creative campaigns. It's our expertise.
That's right.
Elevating ground up to the General Assembly.
Yes.
Turn the sound up. We're what's missing in rooms empty.
Yes.
Acknowledge us. We're valuable practitioners. Worthy of being established stakeholders and contributors. Culture as a weapon, we're the culprits. Honoring our voices with the power of the pulpit.
Yes.
Enhancing the world, a sculpture at a time, a painting, a ballad, positive exposure to the mind. We bring the truth to the people, we're serving food to the people, step in the booth and get lethal.
Yeah.
We want justice and peace, want to be up on our feet and bring the love to the streets. Protect our future legacies. Trash the Berlin map, remove inequities. We need unity to thrive. Musically, we're alive. Look how beautifully we strive. The world deserves better. Let us show you. We are the way to freedom. United our proposals. We facilitate change and we're strong. Everybody should have a seat at the table. We all belong. Clean water, the love language. No reason anyone should be in poverty or anguish. Zero hunger is the goal. Gender equality for that economic growth. Life on land and life below the water. Affordable clean energy for all our sons and daughters.
I like that.
Health and well-being. Quality education. Hands up if you're agreeing. We the artists embody all nations. Working 24/7, we got a fee and you gon' pay it. Transformation irresistible with a mic and a flow. We present to you what's bridgeable, designing the code. Climate action on the radar, innovating responsibly. We've already had a late start.
I know.
The solutions exist, we gotta demonstrate them. Teach the community and persist with no hesitation. One fist in the air to flip the system. The UN gavel, we don't miss, we're in position. And you know we keep it sustainable. And we really gotta do drastic measures. But by the year 2030, the plan of action's attainable.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for meeting us here, for gathering, for supporting, for advocating. We appreciate y'all again. My name is Nejma Nefertiti. Peace.
Civil society. 2023.
Are we gonna
Never not know.
All right, everybody. Just a quick. We've just found out that this meeting here, that the backdrop came all the way from Times Square, and is demanding creative justice. Creative justice is important. Creative justice is what many people don't. Many around these areas. What? By the way, just so you know, there's not a whole pure area here because creative justice isn't recognized by economic sources. So economic justice is not all around here, and a lot of times the creativity that breeds what is our people is left some sorts of.
One of them lives right across there.
But this
Gate
is
661
the World
Plaza.
Trump Tower right here, by the way, just so you know. That's where you're standing by, World Trump Tower, which we don't have to talk about right now. But here, this creative economy, who has marched all the way from Times Square, which also kind of takes away certain rights of artists, even in New York City. You guys can say more, but this has been made, and we have Fenna here, who's Dutch, but also
See, right? Everything else in between, we as human beings have power. Even more so as artists, we think different. We dream a little bigger. You look at nature herself is a work of art. How many times we walk down the street and marvel at the beautiful flowers and stop and glance as we see the beautiful trees, and sometimes the birds and the bees sing to us. You see, art is our very nature. Do you think that when a seed is planted in the soil, it is upset or it is sad? No, it is playing its position, waiting for the proper elements so that it can burst and sprout and become all that it was meant to be. So that is us. We all have the seed of greatness. We all have the seed of intense and immeasurable creativity. We all exist in this world right now today. We have parents, we have grandparents, we have siblings, we have children, we have aunts, we have uncles who are all existing today. This world that we are living in, everything that we are using was once imagined. So, let us imagine again. Let us reimagine a better world.
Yes.
Not just for 100 years from now, but not just in 7 years from now, but today. People are power. We are power. So anything that we dream as artists, anything that we think, anything that we wish was, it is up to us to make it so. So we raise our voices, we put our pens to paper, we organize, and we fight
Yes.
for each other.
Yeah.
We fight for ourselves.
Yeah.
We fight for the people who cannot fight for themselves.
Yeah.
We fight. We use our voice, we use our skills, we use our talents, we use our heart, we use our bodies to fight. What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Justice.
When do we want it?
Now.
Listen, I am Michelle Sugar Marston. I am an artist at heart. I just want us all to be good. And I'm sure you all want the same thing. So let's lock arms today. Meet somebody who you haven't met before, exchange numbers, exchange profiles, whatever it is. But we need each other. If we are going to attain not just the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, because we know the UN lied to us before, they told us they had the Millennium Development Goals, that we're further away from them today than we were 23 years ago.
Talk about it.
Why is that? Nothing is by accident. Everything is strategic and systematic.
Yes.
Let us organize. Let us be a little smarter. Let us be a little more courageous. Let us realize that we have a community of people who got our backs, who will walk with us and fight for us, and we can fight no more. Love you. Shout out to Lisa Russell, organizing this. Shout out to civil society. Shout out to each of you artists, phenomenal artists, man. We are here. We outside, as I like to say. Peace.
Yeah.
Hey. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I mean, I see y'all, but I can't hear y'all. I said good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. A lot of beautiful faces out there. My name is A.R. Immortal. The AR means always remember, so after today, please do not forget me, okay? Y'all said this is for the ancestors right here?
Yep.
I would like to say peace to the ancestors, and can we all just bow our heads for 2 seconds for the ones who couldn't be here today, to all the artists who are not here today. You know what I'm saying? 2 seconds. Bow our heads. Amen. Now listen, I'm an artist myself, but before I knew how to put pen to paper and vent through this chaos that I got up here, I was just a little boy in the projects, you know what I mean? And I had a lot of friends dying around me, you know what I mean? And what we learned over there, unfortunately, is to not show emotion, right? They say men don't cry. You're not supposed to drop a tear for shit like that. Excuse my language. But as you grow older and you venture through this life, as a young man, you become a grown man, right? And you learned that it ain't nothing wrong with sharing your feelings, right?
And through art, that's how we all express ourselves and share our feelings, correct?
Yep.
Correct?
Yeah.
Right? You express your feelings through art?
Yes,
You express your feelings through art? Right? That's what we all here for. So, I was fortunate enough to meet certain people in my life who already had it together, who knew how to express themselves through art. You know what I'm saying? And that led me to be here today, to meet a whole bunch of people that I would have otherwise never known existed outside of today. A few of them I seen before. But the majority of you, I don't know y'all from a can of paint. And I just want to say, hello, it's beautiful to meet you. And I'm glad we all here today, united under the Lord's house, the Lord's roof, for the same common goal. You know what I'm saying? To each their own belief, I believe in God. All right? But we all here for the same thing, right? So I'm just gonna spit a little rap, I'll spit a little something, and I'm gonna get out your hair. Okay? A little something, something. But what I will say is this. I had no knowledge that there were people out there fighting for artists like myself. I had no knowledge that was somebody who actually gave a shit that my words were heard and that my art was respected and represented. I didn't know that each one of y'all beautiful people were out here fighting the same fight that I was fighting, wondering why the little guys always getting stepped on. You know what I mean? Why is the engine behind culture and society, the vehicle that they use to get to whatever platform they want to get to or to push whatever agenda that they want to push, why we don't ever get no recognition or no compensation, or at least have our voices heard? And if they doing things or having someone in the UN and they showing a little ear to our music now, they said, oh, that's what them kids is doing in the streets now? They getting sturdy? They're like, that's what they're doing now? Well, let's get one of them sturdy bop guys out there. Let's get them in here. Let's get them to do one of them dances on the stage so we can get some more votes this year, right? Yep. At least shout out the producer who made the beat. At least shout out the graphic designer that made the cover. And at least shout out the artist who put together them lyrics. You know what I'm saying? That's all. We all just want a little representation. We all just want our voices to be heard. And shit, we all just here trying to make our mark and say that we existed for the little blip in time that we was here for, right? So, something real simple, okay? Enough is enough. I see the truth. This ain't conspiracy stuff. From me to you, they want us going in the dust. That shit is clear as crystal. They killing us with pistols. They using tax to pimp you. Drug money pay for missiles. They hear the call, they blowing whistles, expose the venue. The game continues. Licensed theatrics just to keep us distracted, right? Between the glitz and the glamour couple, pistols and hammers, been hoping someone would stand up like Mr. Hampton. Malcolm X, speak our truth and protect it by any means. Though it means you caught between a bullet and your dream. Still we see it done. Cause on the block we facing guns. Cops killing us for fun. Every time the story runs, shit, it's more of the same. A mother in pain, some way the victim to blame. You know them pigs is guilty yet they never put him in chains. Hashtags on the gram say remember the name. I'm saying grip up and remember the aim. Enough is enough.
That's amazing. That's what Amanta. So at this juncture, we're gonna have Nata from Pacific Youth to make a statement. Put your hands together as she's coming.
That's how we say hello in Fiji, or life in Fiji. I'm here today representing Fiji, my country, and also the Pacific region. My place here today is basically on SDG 40, our life underwater. Basically because we are known as the biggest ocean, Pacific Ocean in the world. And in this, I'm here to protect our ocean and also the representative of our indigenous people in the Pacific region. We do value our indigenous people, and I see that it has been conveyed inside the UN that there is lack representative of our indigenous people in this forum. So in here, I do believe that we, the indigenous people, are the ones that are doing the implementation of these SDG goals, and in this, we are the ones that are going to reach the goals, the SDG goals by 2020. So the involvement of our people is very important in this case. Thank you,
Paul, I'm just gonna jump in real quick is that we also gotta respect each other, right? That's another thing because when we see artists, when we hear artists, thing is like, that thing is not that important and so we talk over each other.
Yeah.
Right? Like have some respect.
Amen.
Have some respect.
One mic.
Have some respect.
Yeah, I'm gonna step in real quick.
Yes,
So I
I think it's really important for us to know that as a part of this arts ecosystem that we create and a part of the social ecosystem, that we have to develop everybody's different roles. We respect artists and we appreciate artists, but artists should be able to create their art in freedom. Okay, artists should not have to also be marketers and business persons and managers and social media managers and CEOs. They should not have to do that. If they want to, that's great. But there need to be people they can trust who are developed and trained and formed to support artists, because art is important, but they cannot do it alone. When we talk about doing things alone, a lot of times we treat artists as if they're some sort of ethereal beings that, and we can't touch them. We need to get around them and support them and make sure that they have what they need from us. And with that, that means committed funds to developing leaders, to developing CEOs, to developing business people who will support artists so that they can focus on their art and contribute to this world in the way that they deserve. That's important to me, and I'm willing to contribute to that. I hope you are as well.
Yeah!
Well, like the brother just said, yo, one mic. Yo, it takes a lot of courage to come up here and talk, man. It takes a lot of courage to come up here and stand in front of your peers. Everybody shows respect when people are up here in the center speaking. The same respect should be shown when the next person come up here. One mic, show the next person up here respect, especially if you want people to listen to you when you come up here and speak. Show them the same respect. God bless y'all.
Thank you so much for that. The next person we have is going to make statements. He will hands together for him. Make some noise! Yeah. You're welcome.
Hi everybody. Hey. So I'm really happy to be here among real people and artists. It's a different atmosphere. I just have been in the UN for the whole day. And it's much more lively here, much more real life.
Yeah!
And I really believe we need people's power to change the UN, but to change government's policies.
Yes.
So even if we are not many, I think it's really important and it gives a lot of power. So nice to hear the artists, and I support the idea to have a major group of artists.
Yes!
Got it.
Yes.
So I think it's important to have these different groups. I mean, we're all together, we're all artists, yeah,
Yes.
but we're all women and men. So there's a women's major group which does great work. There's a youth and children major group, also wonderful work. There are how many major groups and other stakeholders? I think now 20 or something, and I think it's a very good process. But we also thought we need something outside of the UN. We saw the inside processes are not easy. Therefore, we started the People's Assembly. So we will have the People's Assembly tomorrow and day after tomorrow here in the Church Center at the UN. You're all invited. The whole day of discussions and of slogans, of speeches, so on. We're working on a declaration, and we will have a demonstration, a stand here at the end in 2 days. So you're all invited to come here on Monday evening at 6:30. So yeah, but let me say a bit more about the People's Assembly. So it's a process starting at the local level, community level, this year in 40 countries around the world. We have 18 in Africa, 8 in Asia, 10 in Latin America and Caribbean, and I think 4 in Europe, where people meet, marginalized people, indigenous people, women, youth, all kinds of different people come together, analyze their situation, and bring their demands to the public, to the governments. And they meet in national assemblies, and then they come here to New York for the Global People's Assembly. So there's a bottom-up process also to mobilize and to create this people's power. And yeah, I hope we work together. We need artists. We need all of you to create a strong and creative and visible people's voice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Amanda! It has been incredibly amazing to be here, meeting these beautiful faces, So it is my pleasure to be here and to be the master of this ceremony. So basically, I am Zipporah, and I'm working with Plan International on a She Leads project. Our aim is to see that young people, especially women and girls, are in the front to make meaningful participation, meaningful decision on issues that concerns their life. So with this, I want to take this opportunity to invite you to the next session that I'm going to be doing a presentation to explain our experiences as young people working with Plan International. So it has been incredibly amazing meeting you. I want to say thank you and peace out as I welcome my energetic young woman from South Africa. Let's put our hands together as she is coming on stage.
Civil society. Civil society. 2023.
Are we done yet?
No.
No. Am I gonna get that? No. Amanda. Okay, so when I say Amanda, you say Awetu. Amanda means power. Awetu means hours. So when you say Amanda Awetu, I discourage people saying Amanda Awetu because you will never say I have power like this. You will always say I have power, right? So you say it with conviction. Amanda
Awetu.
Amanda
Awetu. Awetu. Awetu.
Who are we?
Civil society.
Who are we?
Civil society.
Where are we?
2023.
Are we done yet?
No.
Oh. Amanda!
Two.
Amanda!
Awetu. Awetu.
Okay, so I'm going to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Harrison. Please, can I ask you to please come to the front? Give me a
I'm Harrison. I'm from a country that is all of Africa in the same country, Cameroon. It's the only country in Africa that is bilingual, like Canada. And everything you find in Africa, you have it in Cameroon. I'm here to encourage us in all that we're doing as a civil society activist. I am the director of an NGO called AJESH. We have offices here in the US, in Cameroon, and in Ghana. And I'm looking at how we could also defend the rights of indigenous people and local communities in accessing energy. Because if without energy, we cannot live. Without energy, we are transforming, right? We are moving, we're evolving. So we need energy to get our kitchen, to get our food ready. We need energy to drive our businesses. We need energy to get every activity moving. And we link that up with our SDG 13, which is talking about climate change. Somebody talked about heat here a few minutes ago, and we see how the climate is changing. We need to defend that. We need to push away oil and gas expansion into primary forests. We need to protect our traditional and indigenous knowledge. Science, technology has come, yes, but it should come to build on the indigenous knowledge that we already have. It should not be the way around. We should decolonize science and technology. We should decolonize science and technology and use the traditional practices and indigenous knowledge that we all possess. We should take the traditional knowledge and bring it to science and not the other way around. And by so doing, we need to protect ourselves. We need to protect our parents and protect those traditional cultures, practices that we have that brought some of us up. My grandmother will know how to prepare food and do molding, and the crop will grow better than the science and fertilizer that we bring. So why don't we learn from that and bring it to science? Rather, we are bringing science the other way. So it is our responsibility as indigenous people, as local communities, to defend this, to make sure that there is a synergy with science and technology, and make the voices of the local people be heard. Let us make the voices of the traditional, the traditional knowledge. We are talking about pharmacies. All that is produced or sold in our pharmacies comes from our forest. It comes from our plants and animals that we have, that we are protecting. And that is why we have to link it up to SDG 15 that is talking about biodiversity and the rest. And so that's life on land. So we need to link all of these, and she left. Somebody talked about the oceans. How do we link all of that? It is these linkages, and knowing that all of these landscapes,
biodiversity top 15 in Montreal,
and all of these linkages are habited by indigenous people, local communities. There must be this marriage. There must be this. We should avoid people coming to talk for the indigenous people. They should let them talk. The people, indigenous people, to talk for themselves, defend themselves, and the finances that we are defending should come to the indigenous people and not just stay at government level. We should build strong public-private partnership. The public-private partnership should not be on paper, it should be realistic. We are going to COP, climate conference, coming up very soon. When we go there, we should defend that the finances and the pledges that are made should come right down there to the local community. And the local communities should come and talk about the changes that we see in climate, the involvement, and not the other way around. They should speak for themselves. Thank you.
right.
Who are we?
Civil society.
Wait for the NV.
Are we there?
Never not know.
Amanda!
Away too. Away too. Away too.
Okay, everybody. I'm just happy we're all here and in one voice. You know, we have one voice, and I hope we can keep on amplifying our voice more and more and more until we're here. Okay, and we're never gonna stop this fight because it's very important that we gather like this and we fight together. My name is Gugu Makhari. Leaving soon. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody and thank you all for coming here and showing up and joining forces with us. I have my sash on right now because I'm a representative for South Africa for Miss Immigrant USA. So I hope you guys support, so the crowning is next month. And everyone get home safe and let's keep pushing, okay? And I'm gonna send you a message to, I don't know what you guys call them here, but in South Africa we call them the minister, like Minister of Arts and Culture. I know one.
Okay, they call them like the chair. Yeah, culture chair of culture.
Yeah, but like she's the main one. Like
Yeah, the chair of culture.
Yeah, I do know her. Yeah, I do know her, so I'll send a message. I took a video, I'll send that message directly to your phone, okay? So we can see if we can try to fight with you guys to get someone to It's very important. Getting your number. Oh, okay, all right, okay. All right, thank you.
Away too.
Amanda!
Away too.
Amanda! Thank you!
Alright, so this is where, if you look a little bit, I know we just clapped, we just made a bit of a circle. People who were just holding hands a little bit, could you reform the circle? Because also, we're wrapping. It's about. By the way, just so you know a little bit of what's been going on, and tomorrow is another day. We have another whole week, and we're tired. Lisa, I think, with our circle here, by the way, because this is the joining moment. We've been joining together. So there's water if you need it. There's some refreshments. Also, something. Lisa, I think, was a suggestion about intermingling at a cafe, a bar. There's a couple of suggestions, but I think this is one of the things we think the more tighter we are, tighten in. Yeah, because our rights are under attack. Let's be honest here. And we have 7 years, and we know that we know that some people, not in this room, right? Because who's in this room? But we have to recognize who we don't have today, who either is in this city, in the other continents, who is in, because we have to recognize that continents are islands themselves, and we also have we have larger nations like the Pacific, just like, and we just finished with Harrison from the NGO Major Group, and we also have indigenous people. So, but where we have a few things that are represented. I identify he, him, his, just to recognize that we're gonna ground for a second and know that many communities are not here. So we're tightening together because we are the we are the tow line. We're making sure that where others are defending, like we have the marches tomorrow. We have, I don't know if Ingo did mention on Monday, there is the action after the People's Assembly, after the declaration, which we need to make sure it is a People's Assembly and a People's Declaration, a People's Movement, and a People's Movement as
Especially
well.
People's Declaration.
Yeah, so we need help to make sure that we've got the voices including, and so we have to tighten the line, make sure, and so let's take a moment of silence before we have this brother, which remember, who is this in the room, who is guiding us and holding the space? It is many things. I think Alejandro just left, so you know if you came into this is everything missing voices, and so let's ground the space. Remember that. Anyone want to do a little duet? And right now we know that we are on Lenape Muncie land, but we are also at the coast. We are at the coast of the Atlantic Ocean. We are at the Isthmus. Jamaica Bay is not too far from here, but that is not the original name of this land here, but it is flooding. And we may be flooding, but also flooding. We are, this is, like a rock that floats. Volcanic, it also rock can float. We can talk about density. Joke. Comedy, by the way, is also a creative industry, and we want to say that we're rising. So on the 21st the 21st is International Day of Peace, and the 2nd of October International Nonviolence. But this marks the 75th anniversary on December 10th of this year. Anyone know what it is? It starts with an H. Give me an H. Give me a U. An M. A man, human, woman, everyone rights. The 10th of December this year is the 75th of human rights. And so we are starting a whole thing. So from now, this is where we're rising. And we don't stop. And so the people are gonna rise like the water, including we're the people gonna rise like the water.
This crisis down.
The people gonna rise like the water.
Calm this crisis down. Finish the chant.
Go on, you got it.
Well, and then the second part of it goes, I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying, keep it in the ground. So you have to repeat, people are gonna rise like water and calm this crisis down. I hear my voice of my great-granddaughter saying, keep it in the ground. Well, this chant originally came from Wall Street protests. And originally it was, I don't remember what the original version was, but yeah, and it has been in different formats. So there's keep it in the ground, and there is climate justice now. There are different iterations of that. So yeah, chant for the context.
God bless. Good night.
So this is where we had a forbidden here, and we're about ending. Also, by the way, there's been a church praying for us. So 6:30 was the mark that said we can now use a bullhorn, but I think this is the breath, and we're about to end. And yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for staying so long.
I'm from originally from Cameroon. You know, in Cameroon we have two groups of indigenous peoples. That's the forest and the pastoralists. but they all have the same similarities as they face the same challenges as compared to the normal society. So, but whatever the case, they have been resisting to maintain their culture and also to maintain their traditional knowledge. And what we can say is that we are far from reaching the target of the SDGs as far as indigenous peoples are concerned in Cameroon. Though the government is doing a lot, at least to try to include indigenous peoples, but you know, it's like a double gear that is trying to drive indigenous people in the same speed as the other normal communities. So it becomes now very difficult. So in terms of education-wise, because of their activities, because of their traditional economy, they cannot live in cities. Even in the villages, they live at the peripheries of the villages. So it becomes very, very difficult. So what we are calling today is, while trying to implement the 2020 agenda, indigenous people's agenda should be specific. It should have specific the way they are specific to. So we are here today at least to show our solidarity with others, to learn also from others, and also to share our own experience on how SDGs are being implemented in our country. Thank you. Who next? Who next?
Okay, so I think everybody's pretty tired right now, and we have more to do tomorrow. And I want to say self-care, community care also. How anyone feel like they want to make a special way to end tonight to carry this? And tomorrow is the People's Assembly, but also there is the Fossil Fuel March, which is SDG 7, with end fossil fuels. Yeah, not just end fossil fuels, but we also have to talk about what economy we need, right? Not just the way to change, but to change the violent economy to the peace, to the creator economy, to the undertone of where the vision that we have.
Before we all spread out, spoke about peace. World peace will not be real until inner peace is real. We have to make inner peace a priority. When we talk about the creative economy, we talk about building a better world or prosperity, we have to understand that peace precedes prosperity. So I think the perfect way to end it is for us to have a moment of silence, of stillness, because we all are dealing with a lot. Life in itself is a lot. Waking up, getting dressed, getting to your destination, doing what you do at that destination, and coming home, that in itself is a lot. I'm sure we all know someone who said they would see us later, and later never came. Say, I will see you later, but later never came. So we're all dealing with turmoil, all experience grief, all deal with heartache. So I'd like to offer each of you, no matter how you identify, no matter what you do for a living, just take a moment for yourself right now. Put your hand over your heart, feel the beat.